After a 6-month journey, it seemed that Sting's mission would soon be realized.
I got one thing on my mind, and that is performing surgery and removing the cancer here at TNA.
5 men battled in the King of the Mountain match at Slammiversary, a unique battle that challenged a man's psyche, his strength, and his intestinal fortitude. One man stood tall. Only one thing was cleared when the dust settled. Jeff Jarrett was the most hated man in wrestling.
The bottom line is Jim Cornette had to do what he had to do.
You know, Sting talks about how he agrees with the decision that Cornette made. It's easy for him to say, I agree with it, when he wasn't the World Heavyweight Champion. I was.
I'm gonna get the 4 toughest, baddest, meanest guys in TNA. And we're gonna have a 4-way match at Victory Road in July. When one man stands as the toughest of the tough, the baddest of the bad, then that man is gonna be the #1 contender.
What the hell is that? What the hell does that do for me?
Christian Cage, you take your problems to Jim Cornette to solve, and that's the difference between me and you. I have an ability to get it done, and you have an ability to bitch about it until somebody fixes it.
There's a lot of talk is going on about how Joe's never been pinned and never been made to submit. But people are forgetting that in my 8 months in TNA, I haven't been pinned. I haven't submitted.
Joe doesn't owe me anything. Doesn't mean that I wasn't disappointed. Doesn't mean that sometime down the road, I wouldn't mind locking horns with him.
You know, in order to make big strides here in TNA, you gotta step over big people. And Sting, if you didn't like the fact that I walked out on you, hell, Sting, if you have a bone to pick, then this is the time to pick it.
Christian, you come to America, you put whoop-de-doo in your hair, you read our GQ magazines, but you'll always be a dumb Canadian.
Wearing that stupid chain thing on your head doesn't make you cool. All it does is make you look like a waiter at medieval times, which is where you're gonna be working after this match.
Samoa Joe, you fat bastard at Victory Road, your winning streak comes to an end, courtesy of the big, bad booty daddy.
Then there's Scott. It's not about beating him anymore. It's about hurting. When I get in the ring with Scott Steiner, there'll be hell to pay.
You understand me, Scott? I'm gonna make your children cry. They're gonna cry because Daddy can't hold them anymore.
You know, Sting, if it comes down to you and I at Victory Road and I have to take you out, I don't have a problem with that at all.
It's every man for himself, period.
Jeff Jarrett is walking around with something that belongs to me. I'm still the true NWA World Heavyweight Champion. I know it, he knows it, everybody knows it.
Come Victory Road, I will come out the victor, and then I will be wrestling for the world title. Friends will be friends, but in the ring, I have no friends.
I will get the title off of Jeff Jarrett, onto me or onto anyone else.
Victory Road belongs to me. I came here to be a champion. I came here to be the man.
There's 3 great competitors in this match. There can only be one best, and that's me.
At Victory Road, I guarantee you it will be showtime.
He has one thought and one thought only on his mind: to rid TNA of what he refers to as the cancer. The cancer is NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett. Sting realizes that as long as Jeff Jarrett has the gold, as long as he has the championship belt, he has the power. Sting knows that he wins the match tonight, then he will go on to Hard Justice next month, and he will be, yes, the #1 contender, and he will be the challenger to Jeff Jarrett and a shot at the NWA title and all that power.
Here is your final participant from Venice Beach, California. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sting!
It never ceases to amaze me when this man walks into the building, when he comes down that ramp. I mean, it's just like thunder in here.
Don, earlier today, you and I were interviewed for Sting DVD. What did we talk about? That star presence. When he comes into the building, he takes over the impact zone. There's that certain quality, that it factor. Sting has the it factor. What a reaction from the crowd to the 4th man in the 4-way. It's road to victory time. who's going to be the #1 contender to the champion Jeff Jarrett.
You know, we also talked about the respect that the other wrestlers give this man because he's earned it. He's lived it, he's done it, he's an icon, he's a legend. But when you're talking about the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, when you're talking about that gold, you've got to put all that behind you. You can't look at somebody and be idolizing them out in the ring. To them, to you, they've got to be just another opponent. And you see, it has just started right off. All four going at it at once.
And here comes Sting, Samoa Joe. Stinger splash to the back of Joe in the corner. Gonna go right back to the well again.
Oh! Straight to Samoa Joe.
I mean, this is one of them. Think of all the one-on-one dream matchups that are a part of this four-way bout as Steiner sends Christian shoulder and face first into the steel guardrail. Tag team partners back in May at Sacrifice. Bitter rivals now in the ring. Smart move by Sting, taking the 280-pound Samoa Joe up into the air, crashing down, working on that knee. Samoa Joe looks like he's got knee and hamstring problems already.
Well, think how long the Sting has been thinking about this. He'll never forget it. Sacrifice. When Joe walked out, and now he's getting him this, putting him in the scorpion neckline. Oh, but you can see Scott Steiner come in. But he's probably been waiting for that moment to take it out on Joe, and he knew he'd have a chance tonight.
I mean, that was a case there where Scott Steiner, where Big Papa Pump, no, he wasn't saving. Oh, God! He wasn't saving Samoa Joe. He wanted to get into the ring and get the pin on one of the other three opponents, and wow, what a release. Overhead suplex for Sting. Christian Cage charges at Steiner and clotheslines Big Papa Pump to the floor.
Oh, he just caught his head right there on that ring apron. Yeah, you cannot get consumed and caught up into getting revenge on past differences. This is about the championship. This is about getting a shot at the heavyweight gold, and you've got to have all concentration and look at these two, man.
Face to face, nose to nose. He pie-faced Christian Cage, who answers with a slap. Forearm shots exchanged. Oh, Joe reeling him off. 3-4 forearm shots, but Christian cut him off first with the knee. Joe fired off into the corner. Sting and Steiner battling outside the ring at the same time. We're going to do our best to try and stay on top of this wild action. Here comes Joe. Christian moved out of the way. Joe.
Oh, man, and the camera just shot away at the time, but I'm telling you, man, Samoa Joe did a spin kick that caught Christian Cage.
Leveled him.
Right there. Maybe later on if we get a chance we can show it, I don't know, but you know, the action is going to be just crazy here because it's not like a tag team format. It's not two in the ring at one time. It's all for one and one for all.
Check this face washout from Joe. Bottom of the boot, repeatedly scraping the face of Christian Cage. Sting, who previously sent Scott Steiner shoulder first into the wall, catches him with a steel chair shot. Meanwhile, action in the ring with Joe dominating Christian Cage.
You know, I'm not going to say that, as you see Sting just putting the end of that chair right into the gut of Big Papa Pump right there. I'm not going to say that Joe needs to prove himself because he doesn't. He's shown what he can do. But this is the first time where so much has been at stake. And when guys like Sting and Scott Steiner and Christian are in a match when everything's at stake, well, they bring it up a notch. And you got to wonder if Joe can bring it up to that notch.
Focus now back inside the six-sided ring with Sting and Steiner. Joe and Christian Cage are going to take it to the streets as Joe tosses Christian Cage over the guardrail.
Look at Scott Steiner right now. He's got Sting right where he wants him, and that unbelievable strength that he has in those arms, and he's just pulling right there on the shoulders.
What the hell is this?
Somebody just...
I thought that was one of the cameramen. Cameraman, my ass!
Oh my gosh, he's been out there as a cameraman, and that was just Jarrett. What was it that he sprayed in his face?
He sprayed something in the eyes of Sting.
Oh, my homie, you can smell it.
What is?
Smell it, it's gasoline. You can smell it.
Oh my, oh God, I'm picking up the scent of gasoline. He just threw gasoline in a man's eyes.
Oh, that is unreal. You can smell the aroma of gas. My eyes are burning, Mike. Oh man, that is gas, and you can see. Oh, that's just filthy wrong. They ought to look at that. You can see they're trying to wash it out.
I mean, think of what Jarrett said at the top of the pay-per-view. He said,
"Oh man, it's in my eyes."
He said, "Sting, I will get my revenge." But how low do you have to go to throw gasoline in the man's eyes?
Well, he decided that if Sting won this, he'd get his chance to take him out in hard justice. He wasn't going to allow that to happen. Now, the other guys have got to just focus, but that's the dirtiest, rottest thing I've ever seen. That's just absolutely so wrong.
I mean, Jarrett, I guess he took over one of the cameramen's positions and came right out. We were totally unaware. And then the gasoline smell all over the impact zone here. Wow.
And you could see they went right to him, and they were trying to flush out the eye.
Please.
Sting's out of there. They pulled him in the back.
Guys, please, get us word here at the broadcast table the very second, the very minute that you can about the condition of Sting.
Cannot believe. I didn't even know Jeff Jarrett was out here running the camera. The whole time he was in disguise running a camera, didn't even see it. I mean, did you catch it at all?
No, never saw it coming in the least. Again, guys, please get us some information on the condition of Sting if you possibly can. Do we have a camera now in place? What's going on?
Oh, you can see, look, I see Terry Taylor right there. You see Heavy D Don Harris, and they're chasing Jarrett off in his container of gas, and he runs out of there like a scared little wuss that he was. That's just ridiculous.
Like a thief in the night, Jarrett takes off as Samoa Joe drops the knee across the chest of Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. In essence, it's now boiled down to a three-way match, Don.
Well, Jeff Jarrett said he was going to take Sting out. He wasn't going to allow him to get that opportunity, and he did that. And oh, he goes. Christian Cage almost has a pin on Samoa Joe. That close to being pinned.
Jarrett foreshadowed what he did at the top of this pay-per-view broadcast when he said that he would get his revenge on Sting, and boy, he obviously has with Sting being taken out of the match.
I mean, is there anything they can do to him for that? I mean, that's just unbelievable.
Jim Cornette, new public face of TNA management. You got to be watching. Check this out. Muscle buster attempt by Samoa Joe. Christian Cage able to fight him off.
Oh, Christian Cage could see the end of this match in a hurry when you get caught up in that. Nobody survives if he hits it. Now look at this. Christian Cage just turning on the heat right there. Just letting him have it. Scott Steiner still outside the ring, still trying to get his composure. He took some shots.
You're right, third member of the matchup, Steiner out of the arena floor. Little payback here for Joe with Christian Cage using the face wash of his own, and now off the ropes with Steiner, hooked the legs of Christian.
Look at that, he just waited for his moment. Man, he just slammed Christian into that rail, and then look at this. Oh man, the strength, oh, he suplexes him right there on the mat.
You're right, out here on the arena floor at the impact zone. Scott Steiner, he's got Christian Cage, and you know how unpredictable he is, Don. You got to be prepared at all times when Scott Steiner's out here on the floor.
Joe right through the ropes, right into both of them. And I'm going to tell you something, it looked like Joe might have even caught his foot on one of the ropes, and I don't know how bad that. He's getting up. If he would have gone completely through, that might have put them both out, coming in with that kind of force. Look at Joe, he knows he took them both out in one shot.
You're right, two for the price of one on the suicide dive by the unbeaten Samoan submission machine, who now tosses Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner into the ring and clotheslines and just actually STO takedown on Christian Cage out on the floor. Back to the judo playbook for that move.
These guys can't worry about what happened to Sting. That's not important. What's important is getting the pin. What's important is making somebody submit. And look at this, Joe grabbing a table. Any way that they can inflict pain.
Donna, I'm just getting word that I understand the referees have taken Sting to the back. Trainers are working over the eyes of Sting. We have no further update at this point than that, but guys, please bring us up to speed as soon as you can. But they're working on Sting in the back as Samoa Joe has Steiner, and look out, table is positioned underneath them. Steiner trying to fight it off.
Nice knee right there in the gut by Steiner. He was, oh, it just brought his face right down on that ring apron. Look at that. That's the experience that a Scott Steiner has. Joe thought he had him, and it just got turned around, and now he's able to set him up on that table.
Boy, almost a variation of a DDT by Scott Steiner, as you're right. He just took Samoa Joe's head, his face, and smashed it right down into the apron. Here comes Big Papa Pump.
Oh, he just creamed him with that elbow. Creamed him. It looks like he caught his head a little bit on the concrete floor. But look at Samoa Joe. He's out right there. I don't think I've ever seen him other than when he got busted by that chair by Scott Steiner.
I was just going to say a position that we're not used to seeing Samoa Joe in. You're right. Other than when Steiner knocked him out with the steel chair, this time it's Steiner putting Joe through the table. Instead, Christian's going to try and pick the bones. He rolls Steiner in for a pin attempt and gets a 2 count. Winner of this matchup on to the Hard Justice pay-per-view to get a title shot at Jeff Jarrett. who has really, in my opinion, just spoiled this whole match by eliminating Sting and breaking it down into a three-way.
You can still smell the gasoline in here.
Kidding.
It's fading a little bit, but oh man, that just how dirty and filthy can you get and low down. That's why he's the most hated man in wrestling. But what a power bomb, a power slam right there by Steiner.
And off that power slam, it's Steiner immediately going for a pin, dropped down right into the cover, not able to put away Christian Cage. And Steiner getting right in the face of senior official Rudy Charles. That's always that intimidation factor that comes into play when Big Papa Pump is on the prowl.
Think about this, if Scott Steiner can pull this off, he'll get to face Jeff Jarrett when the title's on the
lookout. Oh man, bad landing for Christian Cage. Steiner doing everything within his power to try and balance up on those ropes, but both men down, Joe in, and Joe tries, to go for the cover on Steiner, now on Christian, and not successful either time.
Well, that landing cost both of them. Steiner hit the back of his head, and then you saw how far Christian Cage fell, and this is Samoa Joe's chance. Both guys right now look like they're just absolutely beaten. Look at the power right there, but you got to remember there's somebody behind you at all times, and that's the experience of Christian Cage.
Drop toe hold by Christian Cage on Samoa Joe. The former NWA champ gonna go high risk, airborne from the top.
Oh, and he caught nothing but canvas right there as both of them get out of the way.
Splash attempt, you're right, does not connect, but boy, that clothesline sure did. But just as soon as Steiner connects with a lariat, Samoa Joe drops him in his tracks when Joe, he hit the clothesline on Big Papa Pump.
You can see the forehead of Samoa Joe. You can see a little blood on it right there as he took such a wicked shot, but man, he's so powerful. He can feel it now. I mean, he can feel his goals can be realized right here. His dream can be realized right here. He can get that shot.
Rapid fire right hands by Samoa Joe on Christian Cage, who now battles back. Joe, precarious position. Listen to Christian lay in those open hand slaps. Turned around just in the nick of time, and then sent Steiner right into Joe. Pin on Steiner, no.
Scott Steiner, man, showing heart right there as he kicks out of it. Christian Cage, he wants a shot at Jeff Jarrett so bad, and this is a chance to right the wrong.
No, going for the unprettier again. He tried it on Joe earlier to no success, and there's the belly-to-belly by Steiner. He says he's got him beat, he's got him put away, and Steiner recliner is next.
This is his chance. Samoa Joe is out right now of the ring. If he can make Christian Cage tap out right here, this will be his chance.
You're right, and we will see Steiner against Jarrett next month at Hard Justice. If successful here, and he also would break the unbeaten streak of Christian Cage in the process, but here comes Joe. He's got the choke on him.
This is his chance, and man, when Joe gets this, the rear naked choke, can he make it work? Steiner fighting. You got to remember, Christian can't allow this to happen. He's got to make sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but Joe, wisely in anticipation of Christian Cage mounting the top rope, he gave up on the submission hold to deliver a right-hand shot to Christian.
They're both up there high, and you can see Scott Steiner now. He comes up. What a shot to the head of both of them, one right after another.
You just leave yourself so vulnerable. Check this out.
Here he comes back in. That's how important it is.
Here comes Sting. Yes, he's back in the match. He's got the eyes. It's been taped up. It's like one-eyed Sting at this point. Backdrop suplex. Frog splash by Christian. Here's the pin. 2-0. Sting breaks it up.
Just in time, can you believe this? That's how important it is to him to rid TNA and Jeff Jarrett. And look at the two right now. You can see Christian Cage looking at him, and you can see that Sting has one eye covered, one eye barely showing, but able to get him wrapped up and get him back out here. Unbelievable.
Joe has Christian Cage in trouble. Here comes Scott Steiner, gonna try and dump both men out to the floor, and he does. Sting, there it is! Stinger that drop into.
He did it!
He got it!
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, to face Jeff Jarrett for the World Heavyweight Championship is Sting!
You talk about defeating the insurmountable odds. It's what we've just seen from Sting. I don't believe it. The man was just taken out minutes ago after having gasoline thrown in his eyes by Jeff Jarrett, and somehow Sting, it's almost miraculous that he was able even to come back into the match and then top it off because Sting wins it. And he is now in line for a shot at Jarrett. A chance to rid the cancer.
It's what he came in here for, and you gotta wonder what's going through Christian Cage's mind. He can't believe that this guy was able to come back. You gotta respect him for it. I can just imagine what Sting was saying backstage.
People love to see what's happening here.
Oh, he's mad.
He's not too happy because Sting pulled him off the pin attempt. But I mean, what's Sting gonna do?
I mean, come on, the guy at gasoline poured his eyes. I can't even believe he was able to get back out here. Look at him, jaw to jaw.
Now it's Sting and Christian Cage. Don, just think it was a couple of months ago that Sting, when he left past the torch to Christian.
Christian Cage right now measuring him up, and you can just look at Sting saying, what do you want from me?
What's it gonna be?
Oh, Christian cannot believe that he didn't come out of this thing victorious. He can't believe that he's not the... Wait a minute, he's putting out his hand!
Arm extended here, the hand is there.
Oh, you can't trust him, I don't think.
I don't know. What's Sting gonna do?
You can't trust him. But he does it! What a sign of respect!
It's exactly what it is. The mutual respect between these two individuals, between Christian Cage and Sting, and there it is. That cements the deal. That's the sportsmanship that we love to see between these two, and Christian Cage and Sting, obviously that mutual respect out of being involved in the battle, and Sting is the man. He's the #1 contender. Christian cheers him on. It's August 13 in Hard Justice. Sting has a chance to remove the cancer.